Very good morning and warm welcome to all of you to this second day of our international conference on digitalization, new media and video game culture, organized by the Department of Economics, Maulana Azad National Urdu University, in collaboration with the Indian Sociological Society and International Sociological Association. It's me, Fazal. It's my pleasure to moderate this particular technical session, and the theme of this technical session is digitalization, gamification, addiction and health. Very pertinent theme and closely connected with all of our life, and we know that it's going to affect this digital world, modern world. It's going to affect our individual spectrum, family, society, everything. And it's my pleasure to welcome Professor Shahid sir. He is professor and head Department of Social Work, Maulana Azad National Urdu University. He himself a great researcher, academician and administrator, having wide and vast experience in the field. We are too lucky to have him to chair this session. Welcome you, sir. And he also requests you to join us for presiding over this particular technical session. And we have Fazil as a reporter to report the proceedings. I'm very happy to see the topics and the names, especially ranging from young brains to experienced, especially some of you from the medical field itself, I think. So it's going to be very informative and interesting. Now I think we can start the session without any delay. Before starting the session, I request Professor Shahid sir to give some opening note and instruction to those who presenting their topic right now. Over to Shahid sir.
A very good morning, Adab. And once again, on behalf of Maulana Azad National Urdu University and my own department of Social Work, I welcome you all, and I also thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to be here to listen to your wonderful presentations that we are going to have. This session, technical session, is on digitization, gamification, addiction and health. I will only add few things that, because this is a conference in collaboration with the ad hoc group of Indian Sociological Society, and probably the discipline of sociology is also a product of the changing nature of the society and the major changes, a structural shift in the society on the eve of industrial revolution. And it is also not surprising why sociology and the discipline of sociology considered recreation as one of the important social institutions. And probably the idea is that by virtue of nature, human beings are gregarious in nature. Human beings love to interact with others, and that's why they should have ways and means of recreation in group together. But that's how the nature of society is. Now from that gregarious nature, we are moving to an age where society has also progressed, where technology has also progressed. So what we saw at the time of industrial revolution and what we are seeing now in the age of information technology, the things have changed. So probably is the nature of the society. Now people are going more. Earlier we used to use, we are still using a term solitary confinement, as a something very negative, Now probably it is self-imposed solitary confinement kind of thing. People are becoming more more inward looking. They are confining themselves to their own world. And that's how probably now this digitization and gamification probably becomes important. Now your world is now confined to you and the digital technology that is available to us. So what used to be a gregarious opportunity by the institution of recreation, probably we need to revisit that. And we need to think how the technology has given a new kind of opportunity. So human beings have introduced technology, but now technology is also like that. Today machines, we are interacting with the machines. Machines are also interacting with us. And that's how you find one fine morning that I like this game. And tomorrow when you again approach that game, you will get n number of prompts which suggest you, yes, if you are interested in this game, you are also have these many options. And that's how your interest turn into an addiction. So I think in that context, this session is going to be very interesting. The digitization, gamification, addiction, and the health. And that's how all the things now move on to the health concern, because now this is a big challenge. How by nature, for long we have defined human being as gregarious in nature. They can't live alone. You think of the initial definitions of sociology. Man can't live alone. If they live alone, if he must be something, more than human, superhuman category, or in the category of the animals. So we need to see how this new age with new technology, with the new opportunities, are making people more confined to themselves, and they have the larger world, not limited to geography, not limited to the spatial dimension. Rather, they have a large world. Rather we say you switch on to your mobile and then you are switched off to the world. But you are then switched on to another kind of world, which is probably more vast and which is more entertaining, which is more interesting. So I'm happy that this theme, I congratulate the organizers also for having a session on digitization, gamification, addiction, and health. So we will be having presentations, and since we have limited number of presentations, let's say we all agree, confine your presentation between 10 to 15 minutes at the maximum before we say, because that is something very, not so a happy moment when you ask somebody to please wind up. So it's better we can talk at length, but we at the same time, as a good researcher, whether you are a faculty member or the individual PhD scholar, it is also equally onus on individual itself to wind up in the time frame. Make your session interesting, make it focus, so that towards the end we can have more questions. And given the nature of this wonderful platform, so what we will have is, we will have the presentations, and if the organizers agree, we can have question answers toward the end, or so that would be better. So with this, I will request my moderator, Dr. Fazlur Rahman Sahab, then he will be calling you one by one, and then let's have 10 to 15 minutes. And I request the audience keep a note of it, so that post presentation we can have interactive session, and that will again give the presenters an opportunity to dwell more on what is left. Okay, so thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. With these opening notes, we are now starting our presentations. May I call the first Mr. 𝑘𝐻𝑢𝐿, Research Scholar, Department of Adult and Continuing Education, NEHU. And he is presenting on the topic, exploring the relationship between internet gaming addiction and perceived use and gratification, a study of digital gaming behavior. Please.
A very good morning to everyone. My name is 𝑘𝐻𝑢𝐿. My topic is on exploring the relationship between internet gaming addiction and perceived use and gratification, a study of digital gaming behavior. Introduction. Internet access to information which benefit society. However, access online time can lead to real-world difficulty due to instant communication, knowledge acquisition, and virtual gaming. The World Health Organization had included gaming illness in the 11th version of International Classification of Disease, defining gaming illness as a peer control over game, prioritizing gaming over other activity, and continuing or escalating gaming despite negative consequences. Spending an excess amount of online gaming result in difficulty in real world due to the fact that it is easy to instantly contact people and the urge to obtain knowledge and the immersion into the virtual gaming world. India is a nation with the highest youth population in the world, and it had embracing the interest of the younger generation in the digital sports and entertainment. A growing body of research that confirm that boys play video games that are not appropriate for their age more frequently and more intensive than girls has come to light. Hence, my study aimed to investigate the correlation between the gaming addiction scale and the perceived use and gratification theory, shedding lights on the motive and potential addiction behavior associating with gaming addiction. Hence, I have two research questions. The first is to what extent the perceived use and gratification of digital gaming relate to risks of gaming addiction as measured by the gaming addiction scale. The second is how do different gratification factors like entertainment, social interaction, achievement, etc. influence gaming behavior and its potential to addiction tendency. I have I've used two theory. The first one is internet gaming addiction, which refer to the excessive and compulsive use of online video game leading to negative consequences in various aspects of individual's life. And the second is use and gratification theory, which focus on how the individual actively choose and use media to satisfy their need. When applied to social game, which are a subset of online gaming that motivate for social interaction, the theory will help us to understand why people engage in the game and what gratification they seek. Research methodology, I have used cross-sectional study where I have given a representation at a single point of time and snowball sampling because this study is a new subject, and moreover there were no any existing data set of statistic available. So due to this difficulty, I've used snowball sampling. My area is Kohima district of Nagaland. The target population was youths. Among the youths, gamer from the age of 15 to 24. Sample size is 420 respondents. Coming to the analysis and result, the correlation matrix shows that gaming addiction had negative correlation to all the variables such as mobility, entertainment, sociability, achievement, and relaxation. So it suggests that all the negative correlations suggest an inverse relationship between gaming addiction and the mentioned factor relating to use and gratification on social games such as mobility, entertainment, sociability, achievement, and relaxation. And for the second analysis, I've used multilinear regression. Here, if you look at the table, gender, relaxation, achievement had significant impact on the gaming addiction. Whereas if we come to mobility, it has a slight significance. Where I'll interpret that like mobility had positive impact on gaming addiction, but the relationship is marginally significant, which suggests that there is some evidence of some association, but it is not as strong as the other factor. Whereas coming to the social, economic, age, and entertainment and sociability, my study found out that there was no any significant impact between use and gratification and gaming addiction. So to conclude, my major aim of the study was to analyze the correlation between internet gaming addiction and perceived use of use and gratification, where it was found that negative correlations was found between internet gaming addiction and use and gratification, whereas there was significant correlation between factors like gender, achievement, relaxation. The study emphasized the need for further investigation in the complex relationship between the gaming addiction and internet use and gratification. These are some of my limitations. I have given 3 points. The study limit include it focused only on the online gaming, so it was difficult to generalize for the wider population. So, hence, my suggestion is for the future reference is to compare video game player and non-video game player by using random sampling method, and which also include other additional demographic data. Second point is the study had highlighted the significant influence of demography on the use of social game platform. Hence, more importance should be given to the female gamer. The third and the last is, since this study is a cross-sectional study, it could not analyze the casualty. Hence, qualitative research should be done, and longitudinal study will give a more in-depth findings to this study. Thank you.
Thank you, 𝐾𝐻𝑒𝑠𝒍, for your presentation. Nice presentation. Now I may call Ms. Adriana Sinkley, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, 𝐷𝘱𝑗 College, affiliated to NEHU. And the topic of presentation is the impact of digitalization on student cognitive development, unveiling opportunities and challenges. Ms. Adriana Sinkley.
Respected everyone, a very good morning. I'm Adriana Sinkley. I'm going to present on the impact of digitalization on student cognitive development, unveiling opportunities and challenges. Digitalization in education, it refers to the use of technological tools and resources in teaching and learning. And then the term digitalization, it was popularized during lockdown, when education becomes out of reach, and the only way to reach out students is through the use of digital tools and technology. Now, like we are responsible for in educating the Generation Z and Generation Alpha, and the impact of technology on this particular generation is very huge. And there is no way that they can do education without the use of technology. Therefore, we need to analyze whether the endless information age broaden or restrict cognitive development of the students. Now, if we look at the cognition, we understand that it includes critical thinking, memory, attention span, and problem solving. Digitalization and critical thinking skills. On critical thinking, as it allows learner on the diverse information, it also provides various, interactive tools that help learners in problem solving and analytical thinking. And let us not forget how, the application and collaborative platform allowed the students to exchange ideas through diverse interaction. However, the digital tools is not all about positivity. And the overflow of information online can be quite overwhelming to the students, and they will not be able to filter out what is more reliable and what is not for them. Quick online reads and search engine can be very convenient for the students, but without it might lead to a very narrow research, and then they will not be able to go into a deeper critical analysis. So this is one of the limitations. And then when we talk about digitalization and problem solving, we can see that the use of gamification is one of the way in order to boost the students' problem solving skills. It is no doubt gamification is very engaging. Since yesterday they have talked about how useful gamification is, and it will help the students to be more engaging in the in the particular learning. But at the same time, as an educator, it is to make sure that whenever we use game for learning, it is no doubt should be interesting and engaging, but at the same time we need to make sure that it is not addictive in nature. So when we talk about problem solving and when we talk about education, we understand that the ultimate aim of education is not just to help the student to solve the problem on the subject matters, but also to help them, to solve real life challenges and problems so that they'll be able to adjust in life. And for that, when we talk about real life problem, we need to understand that technology does not encompass solution to all the challenges that the student face, and therefore acknowledge the limitation of technology is very important, and it is the job of the educator and academician to help students solve their real life problem and let them understand that digital media will only help them to assist them and not actually help them in solving their problems. Now, turning to digitalization and memory, we can see that the use of multimedia in learning helps student learner personalize the learning content, and at the same time they can learn at their own pace, and this is significantly enhance the memory retention of the student. It also provides us the external aids for information storage. But on the flip side of it, we can see that this external memory aids, while being very convenient, do raise concern about our cognitive reliance on digital device. There's a risk of dependency on these external devices as impacting our ability to recall details without the use of external devices. Digitalization and attention span. So when we talk about digitalization and attention span, in some way digitalization can help grasping the student attention span, the use of fun learning like videos, interaction, and then as well as images in learning can grasp the attention span of the students in learning. But on the other hand, if you look at it, we can see the impact of digitalization on attention span of the student, and not just students but for everyone, the attention span become unsustained, and the constant exposure to screen and the flood of information online have changed how we focused. Our ability to concentrate for long stretches have taken a hint. It is like our brain have adapted to quick bite-sized information, and this is making it harder for us to dive into any information for too long. So, in conclusion, I would like to say that undoubtedly, technology becomes a future. There is no way out from it. Technology and will cover various aspects of human life, starting from administration to management, education to transportation. It will cover human life. But the only way to counter this negative effect of technology on us is to encourage students encourage students with thoughtful consumption of this technology, and at the same time, while allowing the student to embrace technology, it is also our duty to let them not abandon the skills that help in cognitive development, like creative writing, imaginative play, reading, physical activities, and so on. With this, I would like to conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, Rihanna Singhli, for your nice presentation. Now I may call Najma Mushtaq, Research Scholar, Department of Social Work. And the topic of presentation is traditional games, socialization and culture of Gujars and Bakarwals of Jammu and Kashmir. Najma Mushtaq.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. I am Najma Mushtaq, Research Scholar of Department of Social Work from Maulana Azad National Urdu University. And I am delighted to present my topic titled Traditional Game and Socializations and Culture of Gujar and Bakarwal of Jammu and Kashmir. So when we talk about traditional games are an important part of the world culture legacy for leisure and entertainment. Socio-cultural activities like drama, sports, dance and folk arts It's not working. Okay. Socio-cultural activities like drama, sports, dance, and folk arts, along with traditional game, as a group participatory events enhance effective communicative abilities, community belonging, and interpersonal competences. Pro-social natures like sharing and caring attitude is fast vanishing due to changing social attitude and tough time of societal disharmony, with virtual games grabbing the interest of children and adults, in turn leading to a low preference for playing traditional games. Lack of physical contact and emotional stress reduce oxytocin and increase cholesterol level, thus creating a number of developmental problems in young generations. The present trend of gadgets-based attractions also points towards declining socio-cultural development and makes it necessary to restore the culture of playing traditional games to foster human value during the early development stage of young children. Various nations are recognized in today's global scenario for their distinctive sports and game. The Gujar and Bakarwal, the third largest ethnic group in Jammu and Kashmir, known for their courage and industrious natures, express their qualities through their traditional games, which predominantly involve outdoor activities demanding reboost physical strength and spiritual of resilience. Many of their games are intertwined with annual tribal folk festivals, weddings, and specific occasions. Unfortunately, these traditional games are not given the attentions they needed, and this neglect tend to favor modern sports instead. This study focused on the traditional game of Gujar and Bakarwal populations of Jammu and Kashmir, with a particular emphasis on how these games contribute to socialization process. It also highlights the traditional games among the Gujar and Bakarwals of Jammu and Kashmir. Area of study and method used. This article is based on ethnographic studies in village Poonch district, district of Jammu regions, where the researchers stayed for 1 year as a participant observer and traveled with them from lower regions to upper regions, locally known as DOK, to explore the life patterns among the Gujar tribe. The study was carried out from March 2022 to April 2023 and is characterized as a qualitative micro-level investigations to achieve the study objectives. Qualitative anthropological tools and techniques such as participant and non-participant observations, formal and informal interviews, key informant interviews, case studies, and focus group discussions were used. To support secondary data has been gathered to primary data for a wide range of academic sources, including books, journal, published report, census, documentations, and relevant officials paper. So come to the discussion analysis part. The Gujar and Bakarwal tribes of Jammu and Kashmir engage in diverse area of traditional games that play a vital role towards the DOK in month of April. These tribes maintain a strong connection with their culture, passing down folk games through their generations. In era of digitalization, still the people of Gujar and Bakarwal play their traditional game as a part of their entertainment in different occasions. These are the traditional games of Gujar and Bakarwal, like Bugdar, stone lifting, Bini Panjo, called in their local language, arm holding, Panchgiti, horse riding, Ching, wrestling, buffalo fighting. So I'll describe one by one. So the Gujar and Bakarwal tribe of Jammu and Kashmir too love playing a wide variety of games. These games keep them happy and cheerful when they are moving through the mountain, and are also great way to get together and enjoy the break journey. These people, despite always being on the move, are deeply connected to their culture and traditions. One of their favorite means of entertainment while on the move is playing their traditional folk game. They are proud of their heritage and believe it is important to pass it on to the next generation. So the first is stone lifting, locally known as Bugdar. This age-old game is fondly played to challenge the physical strength and endurance of person. Stone is lifting, one of the most famous sport among the Bakarwal and the Gujars. In this sport, they are lift heavy piece of stone and test the weight-bearing capacity of each other. It is played during big events like marriage and any festivals. Before the departure of the bride, the main wedding processions, locally known as Janji, execute the stone lifting under the silly gaze of crowd coming to attend the show. The selected youth from the host side also attempt to lifting the stone by any of these side, or both is deemed to be a matter of their pride. Another game is arm holding, locally they known as Bini Panjo. This is a very common pastime game among Gujars. In this game, two men complete this game. So one of them strongly hold the wrist of other while the later tries to set his arm free, which symbolize the physical strength. So the another traditional game among the tribe of Gujar Bakarwal, like wrestling, they locally known as Ching, which is the most popular sports of Gujar community. In this, wrestler is kept in the high esteem. Those found wrestling among Gujars connected by big functions of Ching within a period of 1 or 2 months. The festival of Baisakhi, locally known as Bosova and Sangran, much famous for this support in Gujars. For Gujars, each of the wrestler tries his best to knock the opponent down to the ground on his back, while the other tricks to keep his back away from the ground, because launching a wrestler back with the ground means defeat. At this moment, the cheers and hooting of the supporter are worsening. So in this game, I have observed the women can't take part in this game, and they are not allowed to seeing this game. As the people of Gujar and Bakarwal tribes are a patriarchy, they don't allow women to attend the such occasions or at high level where the many youth or men are there. Mostly the females are at home, and only the men are involved in this game. The another game is Chitto. This is mainly a girls' game named among the people of Pir Panjal. It is played by marking a rectangle comprising 6 small rectangles. The player must occupy each of the small rectangles by drifting and earthen dice with only 1 foot on the ground. The dice must not stop on one line, nor the other foot should touch the ground unless allowed by the rules. The game requires much presence and physical fitness. The another game is Panchgiti. This game is favorite not only among children but is also enjoyed equally by adults. All need for this game are 4 to 5 soft, smooth stones. The player taking the turn need to toss one rock in the air and catch it while simultaneously picking up another stone from the ground. As the game moves forward, they are required to pick up all the stone from the ground without letting any one of them fall. Children spend hours playing this game and never seem to tire it. This is an indoor game that need quickly mind and skills. The girls mainly play this game at home. So the another is Khinnu, the bal. The people of Gujar community locally known as Khinnu. This is the first sports of tribal children. The moment the baby recognizes the environment, almost the first toy he is given is a ball. The farmer later serves as a sports objects for so many games. In poor family, the mother prepare ball of cloth pieces for their children to play. The another game is horse race. Since a lot of Gujar and Bakarwal have a horses, when they reaches the grazing land like upper ridges, dogs, they organize a competitions and horse race for entertainment. Horse racing has been their favorite sport over the year and has shaped out to be traditions among these tribe now. The Gujars keep horse not only for the transport purpose but also for traditional sports like horse race. For this purpose, horse of special qualities are purchased and race are conducted on different occasions like seasonal festival. This game is mostly played in upper regions of Pir Panjal region. So another game they have enjoyed is in upper regions is like buffalo fights. It is not only the men who fight each other in the shape of wrestler, kabaddi player extra, but the fight and competitions among animal are also worth mentioning. These including fight of he-buffalo, bullocks and even cockfight. On the day of he-buffalo fight, the parties come in large number with their animals well fed and well decorated. Each party would wish their animal could win. The he-buffalo are put to fight much more carefully lest either of the animals should be harmed. The animal are separated by tying ropes in their legs and each is pulled backward by several youths. The occasion is sometimes made with hot temperament and the same may lead to baton charge on a few occasions. Anyway, this is an enjoyable occasion. Similarly, the fight between oxen, he-buffalo and cocks is enjoyed by Gujar, although they are adverse to putting the animal in troubles. Besides these, they play different game like kabaddi. Then the last one is latmar. I have a video clips, but unfortunately these clips are not playing there. So the next is importance of traditional game in socialization. As socialization is a fundamental process through which individual, particularly children, acquire the knowledge, skills, values and behavior that enable them to function effectively within their society. It serves as a crucial foundations for the development of person, identity and personality. Traditional games deeply rooted in culture practices play a significant role in shaping this socialization process. So the number one is role of socialization in child development. Socialization is essential for the holistic development of child. It provides the framework within which individual learn about societal expectations, norms and values. This process is particularly influential during the formative year, laying the groundwork for the behavioral patterns, moral values and interpersonal skill. Then traditional game and as an agent of socialization. Traditional games serve as a potent agents of socialization, offering a dynamic platform for children to engage with the internalized culture norms. These games create a shared space where children learn not only the rules of the games but also the unspoken rules of social conduct. Through active participation, they observe societal expectations and code of behavior. Bardly practice and social norm. One of the author parables quoted in his study the significance of bodily practice in the socialization process. Traditional games being inherently physical provide a unique medium for the embedment of societal norms. Children through their engagement in these games physically internalize these value and behavior standards of their community. So the next one is cultural and social impact. The traditional games have a profound impact on various aspects of social life. The assimilations of cultural norms through these games influence communication style, form of social exchange, and the conceptions of success within a community. These games become microcosm of society, reflecting and reinforcing its values. Then preservations of cultural identity. In the face of societal change and modern influence, traditional games play a crucial roles in preserving cultural identity. They act as a bridge between generations, transmitting cultural heritage from one cohort to the next. These preservations foster a sense of belonging and continuity, reinforcing the unique identity of the community. So the conclusion. Traditional games hold a wealth of heritage and provide valuable insight of experts studying different cultures. This might be because some of people thinks traditional sports as optional, uninteresting, or outdated. When asked about traditional game in children's play today, many says time have changed. They are asked about traditional games in games are the past. Losing this traditional game is a big cultural loss, leading to boredoms in a village and making people turn off foreign entertainment like football. Bring this game back, we need to challenge the idea that only modern sports are excellent. Sports teachers and school educators can play a role in reintroducing these games in schools and sports clubs. This way, the younger generations can learn about their cultural heritage and understand themselves and others better. So, to conclude, games and entertainment play a significant role in the cultural fabric of Gujjar and Bakarwal tribes in Jammu and Kashmir. These communities have religious activities as essential aspect of life, dedicating time for them after work. Traditional games hold a special place in their heritage, showcasing a variety of activities enjoyed both young and old. The fieldwork relieved so many unique games as I had discussed. Like horse utilized for transportation, sports like horse racing further emphasize the integration of traditional activities into their daily lives. Even among animal competition are held, including buffalo fight, oxen fight, and cock fight. While these competitions are enjoyed, the community ensure the well-being of their animal involved. In essence, the traditional game not only provide entertainment but also serves as a vital link to cultural heritage of the Gujjar and Bakarwal tribes, fostering community bonds and preserve their unique way of life. Thank you.
Thank you, Najma Mushtaq, for nice presentation. Now we have a combined paper by Q. Mahali and Usharani Mahato, research scholars of the Department of Anthropology and Tribal Studies, SKB University of Purulia, along with their associate professor, Dr. Sudeep Bui, the same department. I think Dr. Sudeep Bui is going to present the paper. And the topic is impact of digital health in health-seeking behavior in Lagda village of Purulia district of West Bengal. Dr. Sudeep Bui, please.
Respected dignitaries, colleagues, and friends. And here I am going to present my research paper, Impact of Digital Health in Health-Seeking Behavior in Lagda village of Purulia district of West Bengal. This is also one empirical and ethnographic field studies which is related to the digital health care and the health-seeking behavior in a census town. You know, the census town actually is the transitional phase of habitation. This is town and rural setting. So the digitalization or the teledensity is growing more and more in our country, and internet and the electronic device use is also come in our everyday life. Here we have to look in the healthcare sector of rural and entire India, and the electronic uses and the digitalization is very much popularized in this field in healthcare also. Because during the COVID time we have less accessibility to the clinics, and the doctors are not available as regular in other diseases also. So in treatment of other diseases rather than COVID, the people depends upon the local medical shop, and as well as the electronic devices such as the mobile and the television instructions also, and the other type of social media. So the relationship of healthcare and the social relationship in the social structure and social behavior is also very important, because health persists the person to exist in the social existence. So the health and social existence is also a good and important relationship in our society. And hence the digital health, which is the healthcare knowledges and experiences from the healthcare practices and healthcare decision making, is also very much influenced by the people. Digital technology plays a significant role in social interaction, serving many objectives such as entertainment, social connections, knowledge dissemination, and economic activities. In this research paper, we have three objectives: to understand the impact of digital health in the decision-making process of rural health care, and second, to measure the awareness level of digital health in the survey area, and thirdly, we have the objective to find out the strategy for utilizing the digital health in rural well-being. Here we as a methodology, we have selected the field area, which is the nearby the Purulia town, and because the healthcare in the distant remote point of the Purulia district is not such digitalized, and they are not aware about the digital healthcare. So to get our research subjects and research perspective, we have selected the transitional habitation. This is the census town nearby the Purulia district Sadar. Here the sample size to avoid the gender discrimination, and we have selected the 50% male and 50% female here. And total out of the 80 rural residents of different age, gender, and occupation and education levels have been selected for this study. The sampling comprises an equal number of males and females. As for the age group, 18 to 30 years age group account here possess the 52.5%, and 31 to 50 years age group comprises 40%, and 51 to 70 years age group of 7.50%. Because we know the youth group is the main catchment age group here, because the youths are habituated to the uses the digital platform and social media for their healthcare decision also. And regarding the education level, 11 respondents have studied up to the class 4, and 19 studied from 5 to 8, and 15 respondents studied in 9 to 12. And in considering the economic class, we have found here 22.50 earn up to 10,000 rupees per month, 25% earn between 10,000 to 30,000 monthly, and while 41.25 are in the 30,000 to 50,000. Only 11.25 reported monthly earnings above 50,000. Oh, it's not visible. Sorry. So research to knowledge All these randomly selected respondents were interviewed individually using a self-structured and pre-tested questionnaire as a study tool, and the survey collected their ideas about the telemedicine, medicine use, and telemedicine adoption. Then those in-depth interviews, we have the literature review, and then a review from the social media also, and have one pilot survey to selected our respondent, and then we have go to the field work, and with the pre-tested questionnaire, and we have the in-depth interviews, case studies, and focus group discussion were also utilized here. The use of online healthcare, we know the out of 80 respondents, of 46 use various health website to health related information. Only 14 people used health apps as a source of health information. Almost everyone uses the social media, but 34 use this platform for healthcare or as a source of health related information. The most used platform in this village getting health related information is YouTube. 58 out of the 80 people use the YouTube as another platform for obtaining the health information. Apart from these sources, 4 respondents get health-related information from the digital platform like emails and Telegram. The rise of online health commerce, in the COVID period, the people's confined in their home also. But they very restricted, and some person can able to collect the medicine from the medicine shop. In this period, the middle class people who have the illiteracy and acquired the healthcare information through the online also, they use their commercial online platform to get their medicine, and they also use the telemedicine there, and they also go through the different type of health websites and campaigning, government campaigning, and also the campaigning through the private sectors. So online health commerce in the census town and as well as the rural areas are increasing from the post-COVID situations. Medication and the shop recommendation, actually in the pre-COVID period also people who have not the capacity to in financially and the permissible time, they cannot consult the doctors, but they depend upon the medicine shop. The shopkeepers of medical shopkeepers, they prescribe their medicine and they report their symptoms to the medicine shopkeepers, and medicine shopkeeper provide their medicine. Along with the use of digital platform, they also depend upon the medicine shop here. In awareness, and our one of the objectives was there to test the awareness level. Younger group like secondary school students and adult respondents display the highest awareness and uses the digital health offerings, including telemedicine, health information website, and government health portals. Actually, in the COVID period, the students also were going through the online classes, and so the online classes they have to acquire the uses of social media and also the mobile phone due to their online class, and in accordance with this behavior and practices, they also habituated with the searching the healthcare information, and so the awareness was increasing at that period through the students and the youths to the entire society and other demographic status also. And they also use the telemedicine health information website through there. The middle-aged group like parents, working adults, awareness depend highly on the economic status, educational exposure. The veteran of household display more enthusiasm towards e-health as a status symbol also. It is also one carry the social status, who can use the digital healthcare platform and who cannot use this. So one competition and one racing also was there to get the acquaintance with the digital healthcare platform. Older group like village elders exhibit lower baseline digital literacy, but they also defend the youth's grandsons and grandchildren's sons and the help from the digital healthcare. In conclusion, we get the undoubtedly digital health is used in many ways in many people's daily lives, but most people still need to learn about the digital health and its proper use. For essential medicines against the common ailment, the village residents have traditionally relied upon the local medical shop, what I informed here, and also they depended upon the indigenous healthcare system and indigenous healer also. And most of them do not trust online health commerce platforms, find it more convenient to go to the store, buy health products. Only a very few highly educated families are this online health commerce platform for various health instruments also. It is also observed that the middle class and upper class peoples of this habitation, they purchase the thermometer, then pressure, BP instrument and oximeter through the online platform. And due to low literacy, unknowingly many people use digital health platform in the wrong way. Because the level of critical awareness, like the how functioning this instrument, what are the side effects of the medicine also. So in this paper, we recommend some strategies for utilizing the digital healthcare through mobile health knowledge vans, telemedicine camps, utilizing the ASA workers and 𝘠𝘺𝑗𝑗 sevikas, school programs with health startups, mobile health camps and telemedicine, training through the self-help group. Also, these are very essential to plan and enhancement the digital awareness for taking the decision in healthcare sectors. And people also will have to train about the side effect and negative effects of the digital healthcare. Thank you for patience listening.
Thank you, Dr. Sudeep Bui, for much informative presentation. Now I may call Ashwini Goel, PhD Research Scholar, Department of Sociology, University of Mumbai, and she will converse upon the topic role of hashtag activism as an alternative activist media, a review report. Ashwini Goel.
Thank you, sir. So, very good morning, all of you. As you see it on the screen, first of all, it is a blackboard and it is written on the white by the white chalk. That is, a few hashtags are there on the screen, right? So, when I'm saying these hashtags, what comes to your mind? Can anyone give me a quick word? What comes to your mind? Maybe connectivity, social media. Okay. So basically it is talking about the change. If we frame it from the sociological lens, so it is talking about the change. And that is what my research paper is based on, understanding the role of hashtag activism as an alternative activist media, a review paper. Yes. So basically this review paper has an objective which is talking about the dynamics of the new arenas of understanding the activism, and there is a need to discuss this social relations and interactions on the virtual spaces. So this research paper will be based on the detailed overview of the various social movements that were initialized and gained the popularity in digital spaces. Talking about the alternative activist media, where the Leverou, who talked about that this alternative activist media implies or modifies the communication artifacts, practices and social arrangements of new information and communication technologies to challenge or alter the dominant expected or accepted ways of doing a society, culture and politics as well. Yes. So, talking about the hashtag activism, as Manuel Castle has spoke about it in the as mentioned in the book, the networks of outrage and hope, social movements in the internet age polity, that talking about the Arab Springs and the anti-austerity movement in the Spain and Occupy Wall Street movement and similar social movements, and what are its repercussions, or what kind of this activism on the digital space, what is the role of it. So one of the largest social or mass movement in India, which is India Against the Corruption, which was initiated by Anna Hazare in 2011. So this was originally engineered by the social media of India and later supported by the mainstream media, and set of the national agenda for the coming months. Understanding this hashtag activism as an form of alternative activist media, as we all know, the Twitter is one of the important, or the one of the aspect of social networking site, which was largely used by the netizens and got popularity during the Arab Spring protest or the other movements that we have mentioned earlier. So alternative media is I propose to kind of find the similarity when the Linda Jen Koenigs, who spoke about the statement which is similar to the alternative media and understanding the activist media. So alternative media is an arrangement of media that allows the marginal and oppositional voices to contest the view of the world values and lifestyles of the mainstream. Social networking sites or social media platforms have created an opportunity for their users to be heard, but simultaneously this raises other controversial questions, like whether it is also kind of killing the voices of the dissent sometimes. So I have reviewed certain research articles. So it is a basically secondary data analysis and secondary resources based data analysis, where the review of the books and the journals has been done. So these are the books. There is the list is again the long, but then because of the time constraint, I have not mentioned all the articles and the books over here. So it is in the detail mentioned in the paper. So yes, so as Diana Zuli has talked about the evaluating the hashtag activism, examining theoretical challenges, opportunities of the hashtag Black Lives Matter, or Jen Shraddy had spoke about how the digital activism gap and how the class and cost basically shapes the online collective action. And the Great Loving, who majorly talked about how the ideology is operated in this social media context, and how the Luis Althusser's concept of ideological state apparatus is majorly focusing on this concept. Concluding or coming to the last or the quite an important part of the discussion, that is identified certain research gaps and the future scope for the after reviewing these papers, that one of the research gap lies in comprehending the transformation of social system in the framework of the social media through the lens of digital sociology. Future scope can be emphasized on how the social change is evolving within the digital landscape and its impact on the broader social structure. So there is also need of an in-depth analysis to explore how the self-identity is created in this digital space, and also in the digital space which is connected to the activism part. Given India's significant internet usage, need of the dedicated research on how the social life is transforming within the online communities and resulting societal implications specific to India, and certain hashtags serve as an agent for the challenging and commenting on the social structure. So also there is a future scope in this kind of a framework, where the understanding the genesis or the persistence and the defining of these hashtags in a detail, and aiming to understand its impact on the social constructs and the institutions as well. So yeah, so with this I am concluding the review paper which I have presented over here. Thank you so much. The detailed paper will be there, and all the reviews and the mention of the articles and books that will be there in the paper. Thank you so much.
Thank you, 𝘔𝘂𝘥, for your review paper. Now I request Muhammad Irshad, Research Scholar, Department of Economics, Maulana Azad National Urdu University, for the presentation. And his topic, Determinants of ICT Adoption in India, Insight from National Family Health Survey 5.
Good morning. Since last day onward, we are discussing digitalization, digital economy, gamification, video games in academia, in pedagogy, and increasing importance of ICT in present scenario. So, the ultimate question left behind: who is digitalized and who has the capability to be digitalized? So that's the very question which I try to answer in this present paper. These are the statistics which I have drawn from NFHS 5. NFHS is nothing but the National Family Health Survey. The 5 is the latest one. So these are the statistics from that very database, and these are household characteristics. So I left the question basically, who has the capability to be digitalized? And to answer that question, I use the NFHS 2021 database. Basically, this database contains several different files, ranging from individual men and women, households, children, etc. So I use two different data files for individual men and individual women. My definition of ICT adoption is ownership of mobile phone, irrespective of whether mobile phone supporting internet or not. That's the limitation which is dictated by the data itself. So, and basically they ask the question like whether you have mobile phone or not. So keeping in mind that very fact, I use the logistic model. Basically, the logistic model is of the family of qualitative response model. Qualitative response model takes into consideration the qualitative variable, for example, 0 and 1, or categorical variable or discrete variable simply. So, and the logistic model equation look like this. So this model is different from the traditional OLS model. In traditional OLS model, we minimize the sum of error square, but in this case we maximize the likelihood function. So this pi, log of pi upon 1 minus pi represents the odds ratio, that's log of odds ratio in favor of happening an event. For example, whether you have the mobile phone or not. So in this case we have, so it means yes. And x includes, basically x represents several explanatory variables which are in next slide. So these are the variables basically which I taken from NFHS database. So, and the basically these are again dictated by the availability of the data. All those variables and considering the theoretical backgrounds, theoretical consideration, I have considered all these factors, and some of the variables, as I said earlier, are specific for female and some are specific for male. So, and I use accordingly in the results. So, my whole argument basically are based on several tables. Basically, from here, from this data, from this, we can only examine the sign as such, but not the coefficient, because this coefficient doesn't represent the marginal effect. So this merely represent the sign, whether it have whether due to that factor the probability of owning a mobile phone increases or decreases. So, and these stars represent basically the significance level at less than 0.1%, and 2 star represent less than 0.5%, and 1 star represent significance level at less than 1%. So my whole arguments are based on these data, these results, and these are marginal effect of the earlier model, that is for female. So yes, this one. So as I said, I have taken all those factors. For example, behavioral changes, economic and social factors. So my result indicate that the indicator of women empowerment, like working status, whether a woman is working or not, and being a household head, permission to allow outside the village alone, and less number of children. Basically, these indicators significantly increased the probability of owning a mobile phone among female. However, one of the main indicator, that is earning. Earning in case of female, earning doesn't predict the probability of owning a mobile phone, and that's a special case for female only, sir. So basically, in India, the labor force participation of female is very less. It's about 24%. Now it's increasing. And the maximum women are employed in precarious form of work, that is subsistence wage, and even the basically affordability not to work is a luxury. So in that sense, the earning of women doesn't predict the probability of owning a mobile phone. So that's a special case for female only. And in case of social class, STs are less likely to own a mobile devices, and whereas the people belong to general class are more likely to own a mobile phone. And similarly, as I said, in case of occupation, all the occupations where women are engaged doesn't predict the probability of owning a mobile devices, because I said earlier, women are engaged in precarious form of work, and the affordability not to work is luxury for women in India. That's basically reflection of Indian society as such. So in case of Hindus and Muslim women, while comparing, Muslim women are more likely to own mobile devices. Basically, one could be the probable reason that mostly Muslims are living in urban and semi-urban areas. As I shown earlier, the density of mobile phone ownership is high in urban areas rather than in rural areas. So similarly, level of education as compared to no education less than primary increases the possibility of owning a mobile devices, and it goes on increasing with the higher level of education. So of course, the person belong to this middle age group, that is 25 to 39, are more likely to own a mobile devices. And the last one, the increase in the number of child significantly reduces the probability of owning a mobile devices for female. So the indicator of digital literacy, basically one of the most significant predictor of owning mobile devices in case of female. So for male, the occupation are one of the most important factor. However, as I said earlier, in case of female, occupation was not a significant predictor. However, in case of male, it is there. It's due to the fact which I told earlier. Among occupation, professional and technical managerial sales skills, these kinds of occupations, who basically those persons who belong to, who are engaged in these professions, are more likely to own mobile devices. In fact, all the occupations, however, these are the basically the main predictor. In fact, all the occupations, rather than not to work, are significant predictor of owning mobile devices. So, and again, in case of, as earlier was with the female, so in this case too, owning of mobile devices among STs is less than general. In fact, the my base category is SCs. So of course, even compared to SCs, the ST populations are less likely to own mobile devices. That's due to several factors. For example, they are living in rural areas and backward regions. So as the rural areas, there is a less number of, there's a basically less density of mobile devices. So, and basically this is the working whether women engaged for cash somewhere. So basically this question asked to men only. So, and ironically, women who are engaged for cash doesn't predict the probability of owning mobile devices for men. And that's again a special case. So the argument basically is the same which I argued earlier. So again, as with the case with female, Hindu men are less likely to own a mobile phone than their counterpart, for example, Christians, Sikhs, etc. So even in fact, Muslims are more likely to own a mobile devices than Hindu men. Yes. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Irshad, for your good paper. And now we have the last paper, Miss 𝐕𝐤𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒏𝒂𝒕𝒊𝒐𝒏𝒂𝒍 Research Scholar, Department of Adult and Continuing Education, NEHU, Meghalaya. And the title of the paper is Impact of Social Media on Social Interaction Among the Youth. Please.
A very good morning to everyone present here. I am 𝐕𝐤𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒏𝒂𝒍. I'm a research scholar from the Northeastern Hill University. And the title of my paper is Impact of Social Media on Social Interaction Among the Youth in Shillong. So here we have the introduction. First of all, as we all know that, as we all aware that social media is a very important online platform that provides each one of us to interact and to connect with each one, with the other people outside the country or inside the country. So here we can see that worldwide there are 4.59 active users of social media, and in India, there were 200 million people using social media, and in northeastern states, there were 6.09 million active users. And in most of the studies, it was found that many of the users of the active social media users, they were the youngsters and the youth of the country and of the world. Moving on to the next part is the objective of the study. The objective of the study is to examine the effect of social media or social interaction of the youth and to find out how social media affect the nature of face-to-face social interaction among the youth. So here we have the review of related literature. Various studies, it was found that as you can see here in the slide, there were positive studies. It was found that social media is very important in each one of us, because through social media we can interact and we can connect to people around the world. But however, there are various studies that says that social media it takes over the natural human contact, because it affects the face-to-face interaction of the people. So in my study, it is based on these two theoretical frameworks. Firstly is the technological determinism, and the second is the social penetration theory. Under this one, technological determinism, it is proposed by Marshall McLuhan in 2001. And this technological determinism, it explains that technological devices takes over the natural human contact of the interaction process of the people. Whereas this social penetration theory, it explains that it improves the interpersonal relationship of the people, because they are able to share and exchange ideas and behaviors among each other through social media. Next comes to research methodology. Research design, the study adopted cross-sectional research design, and the area of the study is Shillong, falling under municipal board. The sample size, it consists of 100 youth ages between 18 to 35 years. And I have used simple, random and convenient sampling for the purpose of the study. Then structured questionnaires were used for the data collection, and statistical techniques such as percentage, frequency, and correlation were used for the data analysis and interpretation of the data. So the next, we've come to the findings. Firstly, we'll see the social media platforms most frequently used by the respondents. It was found that, my study found that WhatsApp was the most frequently used by the youth, followed by Instagram and Facebook. Then next, we'll see the social media usage in hours. And here, the study found that the youth mostly spend 1 hour to 2 hours daily on social media, which was followed by 5 hours and more, 3 hours and to 4 hours, and the least with less than 1 hour daily. And next, it's social media usage in years. How many years they have used social media. The study found that majority of the respondents have used social media for about 2 to 4 years, with the least with less than 2 years. Then next, it's a frequency of social media usage. Here, the study found that majority of the respondents check on social media for every 30 minutes or more, and which was with the least it's every 20 minutes. So here we'll see the how this usage of social media have a correlation or a relationship with these variables of interaction. Firstly, there is no relationship between the time spent on social media with tool of communication and relationship they had with others, whereas there is a relationship between this time spent of social media with the other one, with influence through social media, the social skills interaction, with the effect on interaction, with the responsibilities of the youth, and with the psychological effect they had of the youth. And coming to the conclusion, as we all know that social media is very essential, and it is become a needy for each one of us, because it is a necessity for each one of us, because we need every day, but it depends on us how we use it, because social media also has its own advantages and disadvantages. So we ourselves, we should choose how to use it wisely. So with this, I conclude that use social media wisely in order to connect each other, build each other, and interact with each other. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. 𝑰𝒏𝒕𝒆𝒏𝒂𝒕𝒊𝒐𝒏𝒂𝒍. I think we have completed all presentation in this technical session. I request Professor Shai sir to come and join on the dais. And with the consent of the chair, we are opening the floor for questions. You can ask the questions, and we will direct them.
I have with the permission of the chair. Yes. Please. Let her ask us.
Yeah, actually, I have a question for the last presentation. You have mixed the non-probability and probability sampling together. So why do you mix that sampling techniques in one study? What is the justification behind that? Because random sampling is, of course, related to probability sampling, and the convenience one is related to non-probability sampling. So how could you mix that together? What is the justification behind that?
You take the
I have used it because it is according to, because both of it's very important for the research. So I've used it because convenience sampling also is according to the convenience of the people. So but I use simple random because it's I can choose randomly, because social media is used by the youth. Every youth is nowadays they use social media. So that is why I took this simple random and convenience sampling.
explain what was that randomly that you how you choose.
This one simple random sampling. I choose it randomly through by collecting data, by collecting questionnaires.
Move on. Mr. Paridana.
Hello. Actually, this is the problem with the methodology used by the sociologists. They do more qualitative research, not quantitative. So that is why we need to sit together, and we need to, now she got the perspective, and when she conducts a study, she will, apply that particular perspective into her research. Thank you very much. I have many questions, but when I came here, a presenter was making a presentation on Gujar Bakarwal community, the girl, and it was again a qualitative research. My observation on that presentation is that she should have taken the theme of the conference into her research. She should have reflected upon the video games culture among the Gujar Bakarwal community. It is okay that they are into all these activities and females are not participating. But I just wanted to know how is there any effect of that type of gaming on women? Like, okay, they can't go out of the four boundary walls of their houses. Are they sitting at home and busy with the video games? Is it like a substitute for women among the Gujar Bakarwal community?
Hold on. You will get the mic.
I'll finish. My second question is on the presentation from West Bengal. The presenter was talking about health startups in the school. I just wanted to know what kind of health startups the researcher is suggesting to start in the school. And okay, and another
Let these two answer. So,
okay.
Yes, ma'am. No, women are not using phones or video games. They are just doing their household works. Like women's in the Gujar's community, likely engage in their household activities. They are taking care of their childrens. Then other activities, reading and bearing of their cattles. All their household activities. They are engaged in that. They are not allowed to.
They are neither into physical games nor
No, ma'am.
so they do not need entertainment.
Ma'am, for entertainment, they usually sing local songs, folk songs, when they are together. Yeah, thank you so much.
Dr. Sudeep, is there anybody in that group? Okay. Then let's ma'am have other questions and then we will come to you.
My second question is to Irshad from the Department of Economics. It is not a question actually. It is an observation, and I was so happy that Irshad could collect the data and then he could show the result here. And for the first time, I saw that the mobile is being a determinant of women empowerment. He tried to show that if very interesting findings he got. I don't know whether I remember or not. It was like, even if women have money and they are not allowed to, they are using the mobile phones, but if the man doesn't have money and females have money, females will be using more mobile phones, but they are not empowering men to use mobile phones. So is that so? It was very interesting. I just want to know, is it that observation? If at all it is this kind of observation, he made a very interesting finding in his study.
Ma'am, I have to check my slides again.
Okay. Okay.
If you can quickly respond, then it's fine. You can just
No, it was something like that. Yes, it was something. Yes.
So it is very interesting.
Yes, ma'am.
We should talk about it, and we should sit with the sociologists, with the people like Shahid Saab, to start analyzing this kind of observation more. Because there has to be some logic, there has to be some serious reason. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि जो अभी तक औरतों के साथ हो रहा था अब वो मर्दों के साथ होने लगा है. So this is a sociologist perspective. So reverse तो नहीं होने लगी है situation.
Okay, my question is for the hashtag activism presenter. So you were mentioning that a lot of these movements are based on Twitter, mostly on Twitter, right? But Twitter has a very small user base compared to the rest of the world. And in addition, the company itself has certain biases on what sort of content is allowed to exist on the platform. So when we are talking about the giving voice to the marginalized, Twitter itself is marginal in the form that it is highly elite. Only a certain people are able to access it. So what is then the nature of the movements itself that are born there are also very dependent on the nature of the platform itself. So what is this? There is this sort of a dichotomy in terms of when we are saying we are talking about marginalization and how they gain their voices, but not everybody has access to the platform itself. So there's an
Dr. Ashwini. Not yet.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your good observation and kind of question. So basically, this is what the argument is when I go through the Twitter database or trying to understand the hashtag activism on the Twitter space. It's actually limiting the people, or it is only limited to certain group of people that you pointed out, the elite people. So that's what the observation. And also simultaneously, I'll add to your as we all know, formerly it was a Twitter, now it is a X, and because of the Elon Musk who took over. So now even the application is restricting the access, academic access of the Twitter database to the people. So this is also, I mean, the kind of observation is there, as you said rightly, it is limited to the elite people. Yes, thank you.
Okay, I have a question to you. You were discussing about alternative media, but there is a problem with the fake accounts and all. In most of the social media, we have so many fake accounts. So how we'll deal about that? Okay? How we will deal about with it? Like you are discussing about the influence of the social media in larger context, like social movements and all. So there is a difference. While it is offline, we cannot find something like a few like a fake thing. Okay, but coming to online movements, we have different scopes for fake accounts and all. So how we'll deal with that?
Thank you, sir, for your question. Again, I guess you are talking about the anonymity which is there on the Twitter. So that itself is a kind of a limitations of the study, that we are not able to exactly point it out whether that person who's a Twitter author is the male or female, or belongs to which kind of identity and all. So these are the limitations of the study, but definitely one can explore talking about the one particular hashtag activism and talking about the kind of anonymity is explored through that activism, and what is exactly the what can be the what exactly the reality is, and how at what rate it should be calculated. Thank you.
I think we have taken up all questions. Now I request the chair to summarize the presentations and for concluding remarks. Sir, please.
Aye, please. Yes. At right time. Probably you had that question about health-seeking behavior. Please. Okay.
Was regarding your suggestion on startups in school. So what kind of startups you are expecting to be started in the school to promote digitalization in health sector?
Yes, ma'am. It is very good question, and Yes. Uh, we have opted a very formal and micro level training among the students. What is the illiteracy and do nots? We have to frame the do nots, and also they should aware about the negative effect of health side. Such from my experience, I want to state you that one students he is preparing himself for one competitive exam, and he take one Ayurvedic medicine, and when he search Google, then he get that the Ayurvedic medicine caused cancer, and so he become mentally disappear and commit suicide. So do notes is most probably, and then further progress of this is the negative effect and how to change the negative effect and what should the further steps. Thank you.
So towards the end of this session or the sessions, I must take this opportunity to thank all the presenters. I must congratulate them for the interesting papers. And as I said, this is not one session, we moved on, and that's how the world of digital era is. It is too fluid, too dynamic, and we have moved from digitization and gamification to the convergence, digital convergence. Interestingly, many new terms come up that we also particularly now this is an era where the sociologically also we need to have more sharp eyes to make sense of what is happening, and equally also the economics people also need to do more meaning making with regard to how market is further is not leaving its hegemony, rather it is further adding on, further hegemonizing the digital technology to penetrate into our lives. So interesting presentations, and we come up the terms like digital dementia, gaming illness, So these we need to see, and we need to see how we have talked about digitized games to the traditional games, and rightly I must recognize the presence of our Dean, Professor Farida Siddiqui. We need to see the interface, and if we see it or not, the technology has already created many interfaces. You see, we talk about highly digitized games, but equally you have the games even with digital games for Ludo. So accordingly, I think now we need to create more interfaces. We need to also, though the data sets are also evolving like NFHS, we have interesting presentation with regard to, but then also there, with regard to data sets, we need to go into more deeper layers. Like we have a data with regard to mobile phones, but we are not sure about the type of mobile phones. Similarly, we have data, but data has to be also look into the other type of disparities, like with regard to the gender and all things have come up. So those things are there. But anyway, interesting presentations, and I am happy that there are also some presentations with regard to the hashtag and all. I think this is also another opportunity, like we talked about the games and the critical thinking, problem solving skills that these are contributing. But these are the difficult choices. Like we talked about the age appropriateness of the digital games. Now these are the difficult choices. On the one hand, parents may ask the child or the children not to use mobile, but alternatives that you give is for them to the junk food. So you see how the good mix or the wonder mix or unfortunate mix of the things are coming up that we need to see. But probably this digital age also providing us those lenses to look into the domain of the marginals. So hashtag is there, but we also need to see the hashtag, and like I would be happy if there would be some hashtag related to Me Too campaign, some examples related to Black Lives Matter, some hashtags relating to lynching, because now this is also an era, probably technology is really helping us to evolve, but we are still failing to come out of those conditioned social common sense. because still when we look to the normative things. So we need to also make use of technology to really sharpen our critical thinking so that we can now restart meaning making of the new normative things that are coming up. So once again, I congratulate you. I thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, with these concluding notes, we can call it a day. This particular technical session, I express my sincere gratitude to Professor Shahid sir for accepting our invitation to chair this technical session. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And I also extend my sincere gratitude to all those who presented their papers for their well-composed presentation and informative presentations. Thank you all. And then audience also for making this session more live. And then our IMC staff for well supporting us. Thank you all. And over to Zia sir for further explanations related with further proceedings.
Thank you, Dr. Fazil. We will have a small tea break, and there is an important announcement that the chairperson of the next session is here with us. So I request all of you to come back quickly, maybe 5 minutes, because tea will not take more than that. And second announcement is that in the afternoon session, technical session, we had parallel 2 sessions. We have already done half, so we are trying to make only forenoon sessions. So all those afternoon sessions are being taken for the forenoon session. That means technical session 3. Afternoon, we will have only valedictory sessions, as of now, which we have discussed, right? So I request all those whose name are in technical session 5A, please be here so we can take up your papers in the next session. Third, we will request the moderator of this sessions to take male members paper first. Some of the people who want to go for prayers can go early, and then others can continue. Professor Farida Siddiqui will be there, so we'll coordinate that. Thank you all. Please come back again.